Well, sitting here at the ballpark, I'm going to try and get my videos done before Ollie's game starts here in about half an hour. Great day yesterday. They won the game. Didn't get to finish it, but they got 5 full innings in, which meant the game was over. They won 10-4, so that was cool. We get to watch a lot of good youngsters yesterday. Ollie was good. Mel Gibson, it kind of sucked the races were rained out at Mohawk. I wanted to get those horses raced. Bruno, in tough, did what he could to start off the season, but again, that was his first start. We've seen now what happens when you get 1 or 2 full starts in and then put those horses into the stakes. It's hard to do because they only have so many starts, and then Bruno was up against some foot issues. He was up against some foot issues when we were trying to get him started, so there was kind of a gap in his start to his racing career. So hopefully this is a good start for him. Mel Gibson was incredible. Anytime you can go from buying a horse, I forget what we paid for him, like $10,000 or $12,000, and him making 16 in his first start. Just got beat at the wire too. I thought he was a winner. I was pretty excited, pretty shocked. Because this is a horse that we'd schooled, qualified. We had a couple of people asking us, when's he going to be in? When's he going to be in? We wanted to have him ready to start right at the right time. And it's very hard to do sometimes, but it worked out well with Mel. His first start, Jason Merriman did a great job with him. And then I thought he was a winner last night and just got picked off at the shadow of the wire. And it really did take a photo because with the angle, I couldn't tell. First I thought we won, and then anyway. He raced huge. So let's get right to it. AC Swan been in 2-4. Done a little work on her. We're going to qualify her this week. Both her and Alibaba have been putting in a lot of work lately. So Mario's been doing good with them. Alibaba, we made a little shoeing change to, I believe. She's going to race Wednesday evening at Grand River Raceway. And AC Swan, 1, maybe probably 2 qualifiers into her coming up starting on Friday. I think they did away with the Tuesday qualifiers. I knew they were going to cancel one of the days, but anyway, AC Swan 2-4 so far. She'll come back hopefully with a qualifier in 2-3. It's going to be baby steps with her, and inch by inch we'll see her hopefully get better and better. Activation, not the front end type horse, to say the least. I think if we go from a closed bridle to a hood with cups, maybe even do a set of belly band hobbles. I'll tell you, if he's got an off week next week, I have to check. I might be actually interested in taking the hobbles right off him for a race to see how he is, because he's really hitting a good stride. I know I said in a video yesterday, I had a great conversation with Ray, who said, why don't we take him to Kentucky? We could, but overall, is he going to trot 53, 54, 55 in Kentucky? No, I don't think so. I think he's going to be a nice horse for us, but he's also got a good start to the Stallion Series, itself with a second place finish. Hopefully we can grow on that over the coming weeks. Affection, trying to get her back on track. It's not that this filly has let us down. She stumbled a bit coming out, hit that jack. It didn't have a very good start to the racing season in that Sire Stake event. And now she's got the rail in the Stallion Series. She is trained up tight, but she will be a little bit short. But considering we thought this was a Sire Stake filly to begin with, having her a little bit short, but healthy, strong, and sound heading into this week, still it shouldn't matter, I don't think, for her. This little fly has been bothering me for a while now. Alibaba, as I said, a little shoeing change. She's going, and a little bit work was done to her too. You're probably going to see her. She's picked a win or picked close in Grand River. You're probably going to see a good mile from her on Wednesday at Grand River Raceway. Arson will train him up. I think they said they're going to school him Tuesday. That will be really good for him, actually. I just told Tim, hit the back. Don't even move him. He's got so much speed, this horse. We don't really want to use a whole lot of it. Scott Zeron may be driving him next Saturday. He'll likely be driving him for the rest of the summer down in Kentucky. So there's no reason for him not to drive him at the Meadows. He's just so handy, this horse. I can't wait to see him race. Fly, you're really starting to annoy me. Must leave. Blanton's Blues racing today. I'll be completely honest with everybody. Not a great trainer. When you train him, he's frustrating. Even when you warm him up, he gets on a line. He's hard to steer. He'll make breaks. And I know he frustrates Megan when he's going. I said, don't worry. Listen, we know We know the horse will go when you put him in behind the gate. Just put the work into him. If he's being a little bit of a goof because he's being a 2-year-old trotting colt, then it's not the end of the world. Just get him in and get him raced. And Scotty's going to drive him today. He's 0 for 1 with Blanton's Blue in competition. He's 3-1 today, going for pretty good money. I'm excited to watch this guy and ready for, and really don't care race. She's coming off the wire. It's probably going to be a little short, but still excited to see both of them race. Born to Dance will be in Friday. I'm not going to drive Born to Dance this week. He's come a long way. The only fault for Born to Dance, and I can't say that it's a fault still, was that when you get him in a hole bottled up, he can get you in trouble sometimes. He gets a little grabby, a little anxious, but he was very polite in his last race, so maybe that's a thing of the past also. But I think coming into a Buckeye event with Born to Dance the way he's racing, he should be very, very competitive in there. Chirahola, as I said, her and Lebec in Action will be going in the sale next month. I'm actually going to enter them in the sale today while I'm sitting in the bleach. There's no bleachers. Well, I'm sitting on the ground, apparently, leaning up against something. Did not know. We'll come back in end of August, I guess, somewhere around there. Give them lots of time. Don't talk about Bruno. Again, when you look at the math of the mile, it was okay. The mile itself was not that pleasing to the eye, but the mile itself on paper was what was expected, to be honest. And I expect Bruno to grow up and come forward in a big way from there. Drebin trained good yesterday. James said, little bumpy left front when he started out jogging on the track. That's kind of his MO. That knee bothers him a little bit, but he thawed out really good. Dominic's done a good job trying to manage him. Now, again, he's gone from Deb's care, which was really my care, to qualifying him, to being transitioned into Dominic's barn, schooling last week, and now racing this Thursday. The problem with Drebin is he's going to be in against James, is the one that the Walner colt that he's been driving for Gino Toscani, who looks really good also. So my biggest thing with Drebin is, how does the scope look after? I'll be honest, if he bleeds even in the least, I'm probably going to take him to Pennsylvania, enter him in the maiden there, and put him on Lasix is likely what's going to happen with Drebin, and then try and work out his schedule. His schedule from there. Does he have a schedule? Are we just going to race him a few times and kick him out and let him grow up and his knees cool down? That wouldn't be bad for him, but I think that he's there now and he has the right attitude. He's got a good work ethic. We have been able to manage his knees. I'm expecting us to be able to race him a little bit this summer. We'll see how things play out Thursday at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Easy in the Turns is back in now. I got to change that notation from turned out, because she is not. She came back in 2 days ago. Electric Line is turned out. He'll come back in sometime in August, I suspect. We'll bring him back in. Flash Fly drew a good position in the Stallion Series in Philadelphia. She should be good, I would imagine. She's been good and continues to look good. George of the Jungle. George, we did x-ray his knees. The knees were still rough looking. Some faint lines seen. So we're just going to keep him in the pool. You know, it was great. I had a great conversation with the vet. The vet said, well, probably stall rush. He goes, you know, that extra work in the pool, you know, is it needed? And I said, okay, that's a great question. Here's my rebuttal. Is any work in the pool going to affect his knees healing up and cleaning up? She said, no, I don't think so. I said, then he's going to work because he's an athlete. That's why he's going to work. He's not standing around in the stall. So, George of the Jungle will continue to swim probably for the next month. We'll keep an eye on his knees. We'll shock them a little bit, help them heal up and fill in. His conformation is not great, right? That's the flashpoint for his knees. He doesn't have horrible knees. He has bad knees because of his conformation, and that will come around. The only thing is these should heal in stronger. If we do the right by the horse, don't rush him back, you know, we could have a really nice horse in George of the Jungle. Now, the timeline we have presented now is going to affect his 2023 season. Is he going to race in the stakes? Probably not. But it's possible, but probably not. But we are looking at how do we make him the best horse we can overall, a racehorse. How do we ensure that this horse's longevity as his career as a racehorse is intact and that he can compete for us? This is exactly what we're doing. So George of the Jungle, going to be another 4 weeks in the pool with him. Great Bet was great the other night. This is a huge, a big story for us. It's not that we didn't pay anything for him. We paid good money for him, but he just didn't look like a good horse heading into the spring, from the winter. He just looked kind of so-so. He just looks kind of so all winter training down, and then he just looks healthier. I say it all the time. He'll be a better horse when he looks like a better horse. You hear me say that sometimes, and that's exactly what took place with this guy. He started to look good. Cindy did a great job putting weight on him. He started to look shinier, and he started to train good. And then that qualifier just came out of nowhere. His first race, a great race for him also. It's turned into a nice horse to be around and a nice horse to race, so good job by Great Bet. Gypsy Hill, you saw firsthand what 1 big mile into a horse can do. We tried to get that mile into him when the races were canceled, I believe, that night. And we wouldn't have been able to see what I saw going fast with Gypsy Hill anyway, I believe. So we made some changes, did some vet work on him. He was very, very strong in Northfield. Now, a lot of people said, geez, he was pretty rickety in the last turn. He looked that way, but he didn't feel that way to me. He felt like a horse that was working his way through an uncomfortable situation. Big horse, big gate, small track. And I think he's going to be better at Scioto. We got him stuffed back into the Buckeye, where I think he'll do some really, really good work. We had a lot of people ask, why don't we just go to the Sire Stakes with them? Because you can't go to the well all the time. And you shouldn't go to the well until they're ready. And that's the biggest thing right there. I know it looks like, well, they went fast enough, they should be in the Sire Stakes. Sedona Hill was another one. Totally different situation. I want Sedona Hill to ship as little as possible. So Sedona Hill is going to stay at Northfield for the Buckeye, and then come right back in the Sire Stakes the next week at Northfield Park. So that's why she was there. Gypsy Hill, I just want to keep him easy. I don't want to rough him up, and I want to let him find his best stride on his terms. He was exceptionally good the other day, and there's a reason that we're doing what we're doing with these horses. So Gypsy Hill coming in hot, coming in very sharp for his next event at Scioto. Hallie in the Clouds will come back in, let's say August 1st. We'll bring her back in August. Actually, maybe the 15th, because she went out a little bit later than everybody else. I'm Fancy Like, got roughed up, but I think what you're going to see tonight is how tough I'm Fancy Like actually is. I think her memory's short and her legs are strong, and I think she's going to look very, very good tonight. I love everything about this filly. How tough she is, and her rigid exterior plays a big role in who she is. And yes, she got roughed up and got stretched out in 51 the other day. There's not going to be any 51 miles tonight. She's going to be the one roughing people up and stretching them out, I believe, as the race goes tonight. Did you eat your donut? Did you eat your donut?
No, but she just ran in the boys' bathroom to wash her hands.
Oh, that's okay.
Is there water in here?
You gotta ask Mommy. She has it. Is there water in here? Other side. So, right there, honey. I'm Fancy Like, just her. Mommy has the donut.
Okay. Yeah, first we're gonna wash your hands.
What's wrong with her hands?
She put soap on them. There's no water.
There's no water.
Not running.
Oh. Did you push the thing that worked yesterday?
Well, she went in the boys' washroom.
I see. Yeah.
I didn't follow her.
I see that now, yes. So, I'm Fancy Like, we'll race good tonight. I'm sure of that. Insider trading, a lot of question marks here. Do I think she's completely ready for the Sire? Honey, put that top back on. You wonder where the kids get it from? Is from you. If you're out there and you're one of those people that don't put the tops completely back on tight,
Sorry.
you and I are going to have a problem.
Perfect.
No, you just put it on. That's all you got to do is the top. You just put it on, and then you tighten it up, and then no water comes out. That's why they made them that way. That's why they made the lids like that. And if you don't put them on tight, then they just leak everywhere and make your husband very, very angry. So I'm Fancy Like will be good. Insider trading, a lot of question marks there. Did we put her in a little early? Did we put her in the Sire Stakes to start too early? I don't know. That's always going to bother me until she goes out and wins on Wednesday. And if she goes out and does something wrong, then it's really going to bother me on the plane ride home. But you know what? At the time, I thought there'd be 4 divisions of Stallion Series, and there was actually another spot for her. But nevertheless, insider trading, make no mistake, I don't think the speed is going to be her undoing. She's such a nice filly, and I think, I know she can trot in 56 right now. There's no problems there. I know for sure she can. So that mile and 2-2 really meant nothing for her last week. It was more or less just an exercise, a mental exercise for her, and she passed with flying colors. So hopefully I can see that type of horse show up again in Philadelphia, because she was very, very good her last start. International Spy, he can come in any day. Whenever it's trucks coming from Jacob Schaefer's, he can bring International Spy, and he's been out since, feels like a year now, so he's been out a while. Irresistible Sun, we did drop him back down to the Buckeye event for this week, just trying to get an easier start with him. That was an update from Mark and Melissa Beckwith. I will call him right back. So Irresistible Sun will get a softer spot for him, and then my intention is to bring him back to the sire stake level. J-Port Beach Boy, very good mile from him the other day. Now, why does this do this? A very good mile from him the other day. Really happy with what I've seen from J-Port Beach Boy. You know, I think he could be better. I think he holds back, but that was a decent mile the other night. He did pass a horse or two down the lane, I think, at least one, I believe. So we'll see if he can... grow up from there. Levesque in Action, as I said, will be going in the sale next month. Well, hopefully I want to get her to a fair and get a race into her, but she's not a horribly great horse, just a decent horse. Lonely Lakewood has been good. I'm going to take him to Kentucky. I can explain why. He interferes a little bit, and the softer, bigger surface at the Red Mile, I think, will help him grow into a better horse. Lover's Play is on stall rest indefinitely. I talked to a lot of people yesterday about her. I don't know what's going to happen with her. She has to rehab. You know, that pastern was injured. She has to rehab her entire leg. That will take quite a while. And I guess deep down in the back of my mind, I always loved how the filly trained down, and I thought she was such a really, really nice horse that if things turned bleak for her and we still had her, I would just breed her. I mean, her breeding isn't super deep, but everything that I want from a horse, you know, she checked that box. She was fast, she was quick, she was durable, she did her work well, she liked her work, she understood her work. And it was so depressing and upsetting to see her get injured. And I don't know. I don't think any of the vets know. She'll tell us if she's going to be, if and when she's going to be racing. And if she's not, that was always my go-to with her, I guess, since her injury was, and I'm probably the major owner of the filly, but since her injury, it was always going to be, if she doesn't make her way back to the races, that the potential to breed her was there, and I guess it will be. So that isn't the plan for her right now. The plan is to race her, but that plan will be completely contingent on her. McPaisley, I thought raced okay last night. Got a little steppy the other night. Got the little steppy coming out of the gate. That cost her on the end of the mile. It looked like Sylvain wasn't super comfortable with her down the lane either. He kind of only used her the last, seemed like 10 yards to the wire. So probably train her up tight, blister her, and get her back into go this week sometime, I guess. Mel Gibbswan, probably one of the biggest shocks of the week. Not shocking. Oh my God, he raced. Just the whole thing, right? Getting him out there, watch, because you don't know what competition he's going to have. Then to see him leave, get parked to the quarter, you know, clear to the lead, and literally get beat, the smallest of small margins, was impressive. Where are we at now? Memory and Imagination just get picked off again. No surprise there. I've told you guys, I think this is one of our best horses overall, and he looked awesome the other day. I thought he was a winner. He just couldn't reach, but 56 last quarter and 28. Big mile from him. Militant trained great the other day in 59. We're trying our hardest to get him in at the Meadows. The problem with the Meadows is those 2-year-old races are PA owned and or bred first and foremost. I don't know if we can get him in. If we can get him in, awesome. If we can't, we'll probably qualify him with hobbles on at Northfield Park next week. Mounds for All, not an impressive mile yesterday, but did enough to at least let Trace and Adam Rucker believe that there was a lot more under the hood. I believe there is also, and I think that program out there is going to suit him very, very well. No Chance in Hill, probably start jogging him in a week or so. He's good on that lag. It was good under scanning. It's been good in the water walker that Dr. Latessa has. Let's see how he is. If everything looks good next week, I think we'll begin jogging him. At some point, we might give him some field time, but I would like to have that lag completely rehabbed and have him completely stationary on it where he can do work like a normal horse, and then say, okay, now you can go to the field for a little bit. But for now, I want to get him back to that point. I really didn't think he'd be here at this point. he's gone a long way in a short period of time, and very proud of the horse. And he's probably one of the most lovable horses you'd ever see. So everybody is happy to see him sounding up. Oh Snap You is back jogging now. X-rays were good. We injected her knees. Shoes will be on her. She'll go back jogging on Monday. Paycheck Princess is racing today at the Poconos, I believe. So good luck to everybody that owns her. Pickpocket is back in now at Lexington. We're set up at Lexington. We have a barn there of 1 right now, but it will look like 5 or 6 here in the next week or so. Prince Charmer looked good the other day. I can't wait to continue to race him throughout the summer. Pull the Shoes. I love this filly. You have no idea the tenacity she shows, but we just have to get her gait cleaned up a little bit better. She looked so good the other day. Very, very proud of her. Punch the Clock, James said, was awesome with the hobbles on. Did pick at her knees a little bit. We thought this might happen. Added some knee boots in preparation of that. Going to make a minor tinkering change with her shoes, and then she's going into the stake race on Thursday. What the hell? Every time I go to say the name of the stake race, the Pure Ivory. The Pure Ivory, she'll be racing on Thursday. Drebin will race in the Millard Farms, which is the other side of that event, next Thursday also. Purple People Eater is going to race in the Buckeye this coming week. She drew the rail, I believe. Good spot for her to be in for now. Ready for Landing is turned out. We did go that route. I'm so excited. I've never been more excited to turn a horse out in my life, to see what he comes back like. He's just such a nice horse, and I can't wait to see him in the latter part of his 2-year year. You might see him race a little bit towards the winter or fall, but as a 3-year-old, I'm just really excited about what he might offer. Really Don't Care races today at Vernon or Tioga, one or the other. He's coming off a sickness scratch, but still, we'll see how she goes today. Rito's Lady will probably bring her back in mid-August. Also, Royal Emeralds races Wednesday. See if we can get her back on track. Here's 2 of our best fillies training down, Royal Emeralds and Affection. Was that their ceiling? Was that sickness? We'll see on Wednesday. Seasons of Love turned out. We're going to give her all the time in the world. I think she's just got to grow up. Grass and field will help her do that. Sedona Hill drew the 8-hole, but I don't really care, to be honest. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I just think her having a good run at the gate from the 8-hole isn't going to hurt her. There's going to inevitably be breakers on the inside. She's not going to be one of them. I can't imagine. Probably cross her over into the mid-pack and end up with the same type of trip she ended up with when she got beat last week. A little better result, hopefully, this time than last time. Sunset Acres Girl got beat. She got beat in 2-5 somewhere. Made a little miscue in the first turn, I was told. Come back trotting, finish second. We're going to have to subtract the X's from her lines, would be the goal. Sweeney, I thought was a little flat the other day. I'm excited to see what he comes back like this week. He'll be racing Thursday in Scioto. His blood work, he was a little dehydrated, I think. We just got to work on stuff with him. I think there's a lot more to offer there. I think this is borderline sire stake material colt, who looked very mediocre in grassroots event in the Buckeye last week, so I expect a big return from him sooner than later. 3rd and 6th, we'll bring him back in sometime in August. Time is on my side, was entered for Tuesday. I switched everything around so I could go home, drive the horses, drive him in Georgian on Tuesday, and then he didn't get in. So I guess Thursday at Mohawk, he'll have to race. And if he doesn't get in Thursday at Mohawk, I'm going to immediately take him to Pennsylvania. I'm not waiting to race our horses. Every year this happens, and I have to remember it every year. You know, you want to have them all ready for June, and then you can't race them till mid-July because there's no classes that fill. Vaquero Blue Chip, I think it was just maybe his hobbles were a hair too long for Philadelphia in his last start. Now that's how Scott it alluded to me from Scott, was that he knew he was going to make a break getting into the last turn. If that's the case, then the hobbles were too long for him. Got to have him screwed down tight to race. He'll be back in. He's in Pennsylvania right now at the Meadows with Tim. All those colts are at Tim's barn right now, and we plan to race them all next week. We have the Arden for some of them. We have some overnights for other ones. Lonely Lakewood, I believe, we're going to ship down to Kentucky right away. So that's what's going on with them. Venice Blue Chip races this week. Decent start. I thought she raced well her last start. I thought she should have been a winner, but growing up and maturing as a horse, she'll get another good trip this week. Probably get her off the gate, get away first or second with her. Have a good start from her this week. Victory Blue Chip, a winner. looked good. A winner in Philadelphia. Scott said to me after, he goes, I think I raced your horses really hard. I said, did you now? And he goes, yeah, I just, when you guys have them ready to go, and this is a feather in our caps, I believe. He said, when you guys have them ready to go, they feel like racehorses. And then you race them like racehorses, and then you forget that they're 2-year-olds. And he said, Victory Blue Chip, 2 moved him coming to the half. He said, that was a lot for him. I ended up near on the front with almost every horse. He said, they all raced good. He said, but, he I don't know whether he was trying to apologize or not, but I was happy with the way he raced the horses. Put them in a spot to do good. That's what they're there for. And I think, whether it's driving them like that or easy, Scotty, James, for the most part, we always get the best races because they're the best drivers. Watch your mouth. Again, a little disappointed this week, but not without reason. He's got both his hind ankles are big from running down. We got to work on his shoeing and get that cleaned up. And they arrived there like that. I guess the last couple of weeks before he left our barn, he'd run down once or twice. There might be some surface infection there too. Quite a bit of bruising, some edema. So he'll probably miss a week while Nellie and her mom and Harry get that cleaned up. So I guess, yeah, he was a little flat, but with good reason, as I said. Widespread Panic is going to qualify on Friday. I liked what I saw from this horse. I thought he did his work awesome the other day. 2.5 last half in a minute, last 3/4 in 1:30. I don't know where he's at speed-wise, mentally. He's much better than I remember him. Danny has done a great job working with this guy because he was really good the other day. I don't think he's going to go out and trot in 55 or anything right now, but I think he's going to go out and qualify this week, and I was proud of him. I thought he looked good. And then Winter Bells, a few little changes, right? Get those flip-flops off. I know the math looks incredible for her mile. I think she was in a place where she probably should have won or been second. And that's not making fun of her. This filly has done great all year training down. Maybe a hood with cups. Take the closed bridle off her. Go to a hood with cups. Let her hobbles out if she can do that. Take those flip-flops off her and get to a full swedge. Lots of stuff to talk about between Dominic, myself, James this week in regards to a number of the babies. But for right now, those are your 2-year-olds. Game's about to start. Good luck, Ollie. I'm on my way over to watch Ollie play baseball. Take care.